G'day everyone, it's SDS SuperCoach. I'm finding SuperCoach content for you. You can check me out on Twitter at Stephen D.W. Smith and also on Instagram at SDS_SuperCoach_YT. Liking and subscribing would be grouse. I am here to do my round 8. Are you hanging to round 8? Yep, round 8 trades. Now I'm doing this pretty late at night, so I'm not going to go super crazy, but I'll tell you for sure, I am in a better mood than I was on Sunday. I did express that in my last video that, yeah, good old Smudge wasn't particularly pleased because I had to do a few attempts to make my last video, but I am in a better mood. It's all good, but I am doing this late at night, so I won't be, jumping out of your skin. I won't be jumping into your to your video here. I'll just be doing it, just pretty calmly, pretty comfortably. Maybe you like a calm, comfortable me at this time of night, but it's okay. We're going to be here to present my round 8 trades. So I'm not sure if I'm going to upload this tonight or I'm going to do this or I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow. I guess you'll find out and wait and see, but I just don't think too many people will be clicking onto this at what's time? 11:30 at night on a Tuesday. So anyway, this is what I'm going to do because my last video as well, I'm waffling on a bit, but my last video, I was just kind of, I didn't really know what to do. And I think from now on, I'll actually start to be fair, I do most of my reviews as soon as the lockout has started. As soon as the lockout is done and we could start making trades and we could see all the prices and break evens. So to be fair, I don't actually know what I'm going to do because I've immediately just looked at my SuperCoach for the first time. So, but in the future, I will try to have a bit more of a plan. I just feel like so far this year, I just haven't had too many. When I talk about trades, I just don't really know what to do. And I just feel like that's a bit of wasted content. So maybe even if I just do my review, but I could do my early thoughts of trades from now on. So anyway, little spiel done. I'm here to show you what I'm thinking of doing this week. So let's just have a look at this real quick. Did that update? Oh, no, it didn't. But okay, so the trades I'm going to be making this week. Now, one thing to point out, I was going to trade out Hinge and Rochelle. I'm trading out Rochelle, but I'm deciding to keep on the Hinge because a very good point. Brodie Smith is concussed for a week, so Hinge might be playing. And that means, okay, that's fine. I can keep a hold of him. So Hinge is going to stay. Rochelle is not surviving the cut still. But I'm also going to trade out Paddy McCartan. Now, I know what's happened here, what's going on. I don't know what happened there, but play on. Rochelle and McCartan. Now, I know McCartan's going to play this week, but McCartan is certainly, he's got the high break even. Basically, him and Hinge are similar in coin. I think Hinge has got the highest ceiling. And in order for my trades to work, I would trade O'Driscoll, but I just haven't found a way to get O'Driscoll on field with my trade plans here. So O'Driscoll is staying for another week. I do think he can pump out a good score against North Melbourne. Would he be going instead of McCartan if I could find a way to make these trades work? Probably. And this also leaves me a bit of a risk of not having a loophole. So that means I'm banking on Hobbs getting dropped, McDonald getting managed, and or Hinge not getting picked, but I want him picked this week. So I think, even Hewitt, but I want Hewitt to play. So I think if McDonald got rested or Hobbs got dropped, we have a loophole. But for now, we haven't really thought about that, and we can't really figure that out until the teams are out. So what am I doing? What am I doing this week? Well, I'm going to bring in the player that I said I was going to bring in. Actually, it's the same 2 players that I was going to bring in. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Luke Parker to finish out my forward line for 2022, just in case of injuries. And I'm going to bring in Greg Clark from West Coast, go a bit of let me sub Parker into the forward line. If it can let me do that, that would be great. Fantastic. All right. Hang on, let me take out Luke Parker. We can do it this way then. SuperCoach, if you want to make it really hard for me, that's okay. No stress. So Luke Parker's going to be coming into my side for this week. And that will basically mean my forward line, if Brody and Cornelio are keepers, and barring any injuries, my forward line is done. So this is what this would mean. And this would leave me with 21K in cash, Rochelle and McCartan, probably their time to go. Like McCartan might not even hit 44, but he probably will and probably eke out a little bit more coin. But in order for this to work, and I really want Luke Parker, then McCartan has to go out, and that's okay. So we confirm these trades. How am I setting up the team this week? Well, Hewitt's still in a bit of doubt whether he'll play this week. So, I mean, look, if he doesn't play, then O'Driscoll will go in the back line and we'll put him on field. Sorry. Did SuperCoach do anything right this evening? Finally. Okay, Gibcus can be the manager. So that's how I set up my back line. And this is also how I'll set up my midfield. I will do captaincy and vice captaincy in a second. So the emergency will go on Nathan O'Driscoll, just in case there's a laid out. Bruce and Wits. Now, Bruce, from a couple of content creators, he was out on the bench for the last 5 minutes of the Adelaide GWS game with a calf complaint. But I haven't heard any updates yet, so I assume he's all good. It's a bit of a problem if he's not, because, I mean, I'm just pretty desperate for him to make a heap of cash so then I can flip him to Gawn. I was flirting with the idea of bringing in Gawn, but I just think long-term, Parker, you're the guy to bring in, and everything will be okay. So, and as in terms of my, and Dixon could score well this week with no that West Coast ruckman's name, but he's now out with COVID, so Dixon could be the sole ruck this week with Bailey Williams also out. So who's my captain and vice captain this week? Well, my vice captain, I'm backing McRae for one more week with the vice captain. If he drops another poor score, then he will be out of my captain and vice captaincy talks for quite a while until his role changes. But I'm going to give him one more week because it's rare for McRae to let you down 3 weeks in a row. Let's get that clear. So I still think, and look, after this result, there'll be a lot of fuming captaincy people who captain McRae, and fair enough, I was as well. And they're just going to go, nah, stuff him. Let's go with Dunkley. If you have Brayshaw, let's go Brayshaw for vice captain. And that's fine. But I think McRae could even be a pod vice captain, and that could be very cheeky if he gets that role that we so desire. Now, Lockie Neal's going to be my captain this week. Nelson is out, who's a tagger, and he will be coming into, and he usually tags. Lockie Neal against the West Coast side, it's just their season's getting worse and worse, as it seems. They get belted every week. Lockie Neal could score an absolute belter against West Coast on a Saturday night for round 8. So I think that's pretty simple. Now, another thing I wanted to talk about was my heading into round 9 trades. And I did a bit. I was driving to basketball coaching. I do that for training Tuesday afternoon, and I was thinking in my head, okay, well, on my way there, all right. So I'll probably use a boost next week because we've got quite a few people in the bubble. We got Rioli, who I don't think we'll just have to see what his second score looks like. Cooper Hamilton and Jack Carroll in particular, the two ones I'm interested in. If Hamilton can belt out another half-decent score. And Jack Carroll, who looks like he's got a very good role at Carl. Well, he belted out a really good score in his first game, which is fantastic, and that should keep in good stead, for job security-wise. So I just thought in my head, okay, so let's say I brought in Cooper Hamilton and Jack Carroll. And I also traded out Hugh Dixon. With the 21K left, now I actually need to try to remember this off the top of my head. I think it's something like 853K, 854K I would have. Now, I'm not very good with maths, so you can let me know if I stuffed up there. Oh, yeah, sorry. For who I'm trading out, this would be O'Driscoll, Hinge, and Dixon. Now, this would be considering like how much money they go up. So as you can see, Hinge could go up 15K roughly. Dixon can go up at about an extra 5, so that's 250 roughly. So yeah, all in all, I got, if I use 3 trades this week, before I brought anyone in, that would leave me with 855K roughly. I probably should have just written this down, but it left me roughly with that. Now, what am I going to do? So if I brought in Carroll and Hamilton, that would leave me with roughly 628K to work with for an upgrade for next week. And there's a few options, of course. You know, there's 3, is there 3 blokes in particular I'm keeping my eye on? Yes, there is, because I'll tell, so there's Sicily in the back line. There's Ben Keys and Andrew Brayshaw. Now, I've got, this would leave, and I want to bring in Sicily. Now, it could be Brayshaw, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure when I did the calculations in my head, if I trade out Hinge, O'Driscoll, and Dixon, I'm trading out a defender, a mid, and a forward. And if I brought in Sicily, Carroll, and Hamilton, I can put Hamilton down forward because he is, I could be wrong. Let's just double check this, but Cooper Hamilton's a mid forward, isn't he? He is. So that's beautiful. So Cooper Hamilton is a mid forward, so I'd put him in the forward line. Then O'Driscoll, that's where Jack Carroll will go. And then I bring in Sicily where Hinge is. Now, is it an overpay for what I could have got him in for? Absolutely. But I really want Sicily. I do have, he nearly is my favourite player in the comp as a Hawk supporter. I truly love him. He's now the captain, leading the lines at the minute for Hawthorn. With McAvoy, I expect to be out for the rest of the season. So I really want to bring in Sicily. Now, I may as well tell you. So with 20 trades, in fact, let's set out how we can see it. We have 23 trades left. And I have to do Dacos, Hinge, Martin, Clark, and Bruce to upgrade with 23 trades. That's 5 trades left. And one of them will be Sicily next week. From the way we're going. And this is just my only thoughts. But if I bring in Sicily next week with 20 trades to go, I would have Dacos, Martin, Clark, and Bruce left. 4 upgrades to do with 20 trades. Sounds really good, doesn't it? So who are the guys I'd in a dream world I would love to bring in? So in the back line, we've got 2 here. Sicily and Tom Stewart. I really want Tom Stewart. I'm not a big fan of Geelong, but I really like Tom Stewart. And it's just kind of a bit like, who do I want? Who would I love to have in my side? Sicily and Tom Stewart down back to finish it off. That would be lovely. Ben Keys and Andrew Brayshaw. Ben Keys is a pod in the midfield because I think, yeah, these 6 are highly owned. Brayshaw, maybe not as much, but still highly owned. And Ben Keys probably finishes with will probably finish around 10% of SuperCoach's sides. And obviously in the ruck, we need to get in Max Gawn. So I will roughly predict that they'll take me about 10 trades because I will have to pay a bit. Oh, sorry. I'll have to pay quite a bit for these blokes. You know, Stewart is on his way to 600. Well, he is 607K, but like mid 600s. So I'll have to wait a while to get in Tom Stewart. Then Ben Keys and Andrew Brayshaw. Andrew Brayshaw would be a guy that I'll need to bring in pretty soon because he's at a really good price. Ben Keys, I feel like will roughly be around that area the whole season, so I can keep a hold of him. And Gorn would be a bloke that I would probably bring in after his round 14 bye, which I think, which is where Bruce would cap at. Or I could bring, yeah, so that's just what I'm thinking at the minute. So let's say that would take me about 10 trades because they're quite expensive. So let's say it'll take me 10 trades to get to those 4 blokes. That leaves me with, obviously, 10 trades left with the fully completed side. Now we've got to take into consideration injuries. So I would roughly leave, oh no, sorry, before we get to saving how many injury trades we save. Lockie Whitfield, the elephant in the room, we would obviously probably use 2 trades to downgrade a rookie and upgrade him to whoever was on the bubble. And I would upgrade Whitfield to another bloke. Now, do I know yet? No. Probably just who's looking probably a good value pick. I've got Crisp, Hewitt, Short, and let's say I get Sicily and Stewart. I've got a really nice back line. So the next guy, look, it would have to be someone with good value. Now, I can't predict who would that be, but it would be someone that, it's got good value. So whether that's Sinclair or Doherty or Witherden or Bailey Dale interests me quite a bit. So I could go down that avenue. So let's say it takes me 2 trades to upgrade Whitfield to, let's say, Bailey Dale. That would leave me with 8 trades. Now I'm going to leave 5. Now I would leave 5 spare for injuries from here until probably when the side's complete. And then I'd have 3 trades for the rest of the season onwards, just to keep a hold of making sure I've got, say one of my premiums gets injured round 19, I can just use that trade and bring someone else in. So yeah, save up 3 trades. And basically that's an overview of what my plan is moving forward. I guess we can see the buys right now. I'll show you the buys. So we've already got Hewitt, Short, and Whitfield, and Gibcus that would miss these buys. Now which is why I want to bring in Sicily and Stewart. They don't have the round 12 buy, so I'd like to bring them in at some point then. Then in the midfield, we got Steele, Cripps, and Martin. Fair enough, round 12 buy. Hobbs I don't really care about. So roughly, I probably wouldn't want to bring in any more than another midfielder with that buy. Now, as you can see, West Adelaide and Fremantle don't have that buy. So that's why I'd like to bring in Ben Keys and Andrew Brayshaw. And then, I'd Proust with the round 12 buy, and so with Hayes, so I might have to cop a donut that week. That's okay. But as you can see, the first buy is pretty brutal. I've got Butters, Canelio, and Durden. So those 3 I'll have to deal with as well. So the round 12 buy is looking pretty carnage for me. But the positive is that's probably the main buy where I'd struggle the most in. The round 13 buy, we've got Hinge and DeConning. That's why I'd love to bring in Tom Stewart, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to complete that. But I don't have any premiums with that buy down back. You got McRae, Miller, Clark. That's still fine. I could probably sneak in. Oh yeah, so Keys has got the round 13 buy. So look, I'd probably bring in Brayshaw first and then Keys, because Brayshaw's got the round 14 buy. We got Wits, so I can do Bruce and Hayes for the week. And then down forward is a little bit brutal. And that's the unfortunate thing about bringing in Luke Parker, Dunkley, Heaney, Parker, my 3 most reliable forwards I would suspect will have that buy along with Dixon, but I'm projecting for me to trade Dixon, the same with me with Hinge. So that's obviously not ideal. And not really much I can do because my forward line's basically set other than injuries. And I'll finish off the buys first and then I'll talk about, all right, just in case a forward gets injured. Okay, so we got Crisp and Dacos. I'll trade Dacos at the buy. That's pretty simple. Got Crisp there, not really a big deal. And I'd bring in Sicily in, and that's perfectly fine, isn't it? Because I've got enough room here for Sicily, and I'll just miss Sicily and Crisp down back. Now, we've got Neil and Oliver. That's still okay to bring in Brayshaw. We've still got room for one more. O'Driscoll and McDonald will miss. The rucks are all sorted, and Brody would be the only one in the forward line that would miss. So this round 14 bye is actually not looking too shabby. So yeah, now just in case I get an injury down forward, who would be the two blokes that I'm mainly looking at? One is Tim English once he comes back from his hamstring injury. Tim English is apparently could be coming back this week, so that's brilliant. But also a real big pod, and I love this man. Another Hawthorn bloke. I try not to let my bias get too involved in SuperCoach, but I really do like this man. He's been really good for SuperCoach this year, 4th as among forwards. It's Dylan Moore. Dylan Moore, he's not just a small forward. He gets around everywhere. I don't know if anyone saw the clip where the Sunday Footy Show highlighted his running capacity. He's not just a small forward. He's not a small forward who just stays there. He gets around everywhere. He's a high pushing half forward that can get around the field, and he can also take a lot of marks. If you guys have enough time, you can look at the stats. Dylan Moore takes a lot of marks each game, and that is fantastic. So yeah, I think Dylan Moore, but I think I'd preference Tim English first because of his ceiling. But Dylan Moore, as a consistent bloke who will rarely get you any score under an 85. Let's go with that. He's super consistent. So yeah, that's really what I want to talk about. I'll quickly do my SDS SuperCoach League, which I forgot to do on Sunday. So I'll get involved into that. I lost to Carlton Warriors. Jeez. He scored 2,700 basically. That is madness. I won every other league other than my own fucking league. I can't believe it. That is madness. Oh, that's annoying. Oh, so Jordan's on top. Good. I love to see it. Who do I play this? Yep. So Brad, I think, Jordan took his spot. Yep. Michael's win against me puts him in 3rd. 4th is still Andrew, Christian, Stefan, Jory, and Brendan finish out the top 8. I slide out of the top 8, which is a bit disappointing. Who's last? Sarong Sarai. Oh, dear, mate. You'll be right. Wait, did someone shoot up? I swear someone else was last. Yep, Aspect must have won. So, yep, I say it every week, but thank you very much for joining the league, guys. Still figuring out what I should do for the winner. Maybe I'll worry about it to see who does win, and I'll go from there. I'll think of something. Lastly, I'll check who I'm playing this week for this league. Oh, Huffy's big guns, Brad. Now he's 2nd. So this is a big matchup for me this week. So who's he got? Bailey Dale, I really like that. Brayshaw. Now this is before the trades he's made for coming up for this week, but it's good to always have a look. So he's got Bailey Dale, he's got Sam Hayes, fair enough. Wait, has he got the praise lineup? He's got the praise lineup. That's interesting. I do have wits, so maybe I get a little edge there. Bailey Dale, I really like. Brayshaw, good pick. Rowell, he's kept the faith, and he's rewarded good old Brady. DeConning on field, I'm sure that might change. Tom Green, very good pod pick. Don't know why I'm not interested in him this year. Just maybe next year instead. Sicily, you son of a gun. Jai Caldwell, interesting pod. What's his break even, Jai Caldwell? I probably can't check. And then we've all got the same players here. He's got Tim English ready to go just in case he's back this week. So that's very interesting. He's got a few, and he's got Hewitt as well, fair enough. He's got a few. He's got a Skinner. He's got Warner. He's got Stevens. He's got a McGuinness, Loman. He's got a few dead rookies. So I'll be interested to see what he does with them. But yeah, if you're listening, maybe you could trade out a couple of them just to make sure you get some cash gen flowing. But other than that, that is a really solid team. I respect it. So anyway, I think that will just about wrap it up for me. So those are the trades I'm going to do this week. That's my future planning for the rest of the season. I felt like I've got a really good plan in place where hopefully not too many injuries. I'm saying 5 injuries between now. So this is 3+ weeks or 3+ weeks with premiums, 3 weeks or more. So this is between now and about whenever I finish my side. So that could be round 15, 16 sort of thing. 5 injury trades. Maybe that's not enough, but I guess we'll wait and see. Obviously, this plan won't be perfect, but at the minute, I'm really happy with the plan that I've put in place. I think it's really handy that, bloody hell, I'm nearly there. I've nearly completed my side. But yeah, quick summary. Sicily, Stewart, Keys, Brayshaw, and Gawn left to upgrade to. And those are the players that I want to upgrade to. That's the main thing. So yeah, thank you guys. And probably Bailey Dale for Whitfield, since he's basically just he is a fake primo. So anyway, I'll finish up there. Hope you guys have a good one. You'll either be seeing this video now or you'll be seeing this tomorrow at some point. I'll figure it out. So I hope you guys have a good one. Hope it's a successful week with SuperCoach this week. And yeah, have a good one. Cheers.